Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a massive, honestly life-changing shift: how to stop trying to squeeze your fulfillment out of the external world, and instead build this absolutely unshakable inner power. If you've ever felt like you're stuck on this endless treadmill, just kind of waiting for the world to fix itself before you can finally be happy, you're going to want to stick around for this one.
So there's this really common misconception out there, right? The idea that true peace is only going to arrive when the world finally becomes kinder, or when people finally get you, or when all the chaos just magically stops. But that actual moment of awakening, it happens when your peace just doesn't depend on those external factors anymore. That's the exact moment the old world totally loses its grip on you.
All right, Section 1, the Old World Illusion. To really get this, we have to understand that this old system survives entirely through emotional dependence. It literally feeds on our reactions, our fears, our desperate need for approval and control, and just this constant, never-ending barrage of external stimulation. It trains us from day one to constantly search outside of ourselves for our worth, our identity, and our safety. It's like we've all been sold this massive illusion that peace is some kind of prize you only earn when your external circumstances are absolutely perfect. But true reality? It's radically different. True peace was literally never external. It is 100% about your internal alignment, completely regardless of whatever chaos is happening outside your window. Which brings us to Section 2, Peace as True Rebellion.
See, when your peace no longer relies on specific outcomes, or money, or relationships playing out exactly the way you map them out in your head, you go through this massive shift. You stop vibrating in fear. You stop chasing and begging for validation from other people. You stop collapsing every single time life throws a curveball at you. You just become centered, and suddenly, you are entirely unpredictable to a system that completely relies on your predictable reactions.
And this forces us to completely redefine the word dangerous. Because centered people, they're highly dangerous to collapsing systems. Not through violence or anything like that, but simply through their grounded consciousness. In a world that is fundamentally addicted to drama and chaos, just actively choosing to be peaceful is the ultimate form of rebellion.
Think about this really intense concept of emotional harvesting for a second. The chaotic world out there quite literally survives by consuming panic and division. Your suffering feeds it. Your fear sustains it. It simply cannot comprehend a person who flat out refuses to panic or get dragged down into bitterness.
But here is the absolute game changer. The second you stop needing the outside world to make you feel whole, you break that invisible contract. You instantly start reclaiming your energy from every single place you abandoned yourself just trying to survive. It's a complete reclamation of your own power.
Let's look at Section 3. Collapse is actually liberation.
When you suddenly stop vibing with old friendships, jobs, or even past versions of yourself because of this new inner peace, people are going to judge you, for sure. They might look at you and see detachment or selfishness or even delusion. But this collapse happening around you isn't a punishment at all. It's actually profound liberation. It's a highly necessary separation from realities that were totally distorted to begin with.
You're simply just not available for the drama and distortion anymore. You're choosing instead to rely completely on your own internal foundation. You are learning how to stand firmly inside your own soul, entirely free from needing constant proof or validation from anyone else.
Okay, moving to Section 4, Reclaiming Your Inner Power.
So how do we actually do this? Well, first, forget the old hustle culture definition of mastery. Real mastery is not about dominating life, forcing your will on people, or micromanaging every little outcome. True mastery is achieving this absolute, unshakable internal coherence. It's getting so deeply aligned inside that external conditions completely lose their power to dictate your mood or ruin your day.
And man, from this space of energetic independence, some truly incredible things start happening. Your intuition gets super sharp, synchronicities just start popping up everywhere, the grip of fear loosens, and you finally get your clarity back. Most importantly, new timelines and realities actually begin reorganizing around your stable inner state, rather than being driven by your unhealed wounds.
Most people spend their lives frantically trying to change their physical reality while remaining completely emotionally chained to it. But the fascinating truth we're unpacking here is that the external world is mostly just an echo. Reality only shifts when your inner state shifts first. It's like a mirror. You literally can't force the mirror to smile before you do.
So operating in this new way demands a totally different approach from us, and it asks some really challenging questions to test our resolve. First up,
Can you remain in your truth even before the physical evidence of it actually shows up in your life?
Second, can you trust your inner knowing before external confirmation arrives? Like, can you completely drop your dependence on outside validation and just trust that quiet voice inside you, even when no one else agrees?
And finally, the big one. Can you choose peace before your circumstances actually improve? Because choosing peace before the external world fixes itself is the exact mechanism by which new realities are born. They're brought into existence through embodiment, not through brute force.
Really think about what this means on a global scale. The true stabilizers, the real grid holders of our world, they aren't the loudest voices in the room. The absolute most powerful people on Earth are often the ones sitting quietly, fully anchored within themselves, even while entire systems are collapsing around them. Just their very presence shifts the collective.
And this is exactly why your own personal healing matters so much. It's not just about you. Every single time you choose inner alignment over fear, every time you return to peace instead of panicking, you stop feeding that old architecture. You are actively building and strengthening a brand new pathway for all of humanity to follow.
Ultimately, we have to realize that peace is never some passive retreat or a sign of weakness. It is power under control, it's spiritual maturity, energetic independence, and the really profound act of remembering exactly who you were before the world taught you to be afraid.
Because I promise you, once you truly experience that kind of energetic sovereignty, there is absolutely no going back to the old illusions. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Will you continue waiting on the external world to grant you fulfillment and harvest your energy? Or will you choose the dangerous rebellion of inner peace? Take a moment to reflect on that, and I'll see you next time on This Explainer.